Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Jody Horvath and I'm here to talk about a strategy called planned ignoring. So far we've learned that all behavior is communication and that it has a function. So we've also learned that having predictable routines, clear expectations, and following through really help children in knowing what comes next and what is expected of them. And all of this can really set you up to use a strategy called planned ignoring. So, what is planned ignoring? Planned ignoring is a strategy used to decrease unwanted behavior. It is a conscious decision not to respond to the behavior at the time that it's happening. And planned ignoring is often combined with teaching a child a new skill that you want to see instead. So, why does planned ignoring work? Planned ignoring is often used to decrease power struggles, as you're not focusing on the challenging behavior, you're focusing on the child's wants and needs. It really gives us time to think about how to respond. Sometimes, when we give children our attention to the inappropriate behavior, it can often reinforce that behavior or sometimes even cause the situation to escalate. So, what does planned ignoring look like? So, safety is given to the child first and foremost. There's little to no eye contact involved. There's minimal talking, and of course, followed by teaching replacement skills and behaviors. So let's discuss a few examples. So attention-based behavior could be climbing up on the table, flicking the light switch, throwing a toy. In these situations, you would ignore the behavior by not making eye contact. Approach the child calmly, provide clear expectations or redirection, such as feet down, followed by modeling the appropriate way to get your attention. For example, tapping you on the arm. Mommy, come play, or Daddy, come play. Some examples of access behavior could be hitting to gain access to a toy, kicking, screaming, yelling to gain access to a favorite food, for example, at the grocery store, um, throwing themselves on the floor to gain access to their favorite show before bed, for example. In these situations, you would ignore the behavior. If your child's hitting another child and takes the toy, you could approach, give the toy back to the other child, and model asking for the toy. If they ask for the toy, we really want to reinforce that behavior right away and give them the toy immediately. That being said, we want to work on one skill at a time. Waiting can be practiced in another time. Um, if you cannot give access to that item right away, we want to support the child in waiting by identifying that it's hard to wait for a turn and provide them with a choice of two activities to do while they wait. Remember, if this is the first time you are doing this, behavior might escalate. It is important to follow through. If they continue to cry, scream, etc., um, then you can just support them with their feelings, being their words, so to speak. I'm angry. It's hard to wait. I really want that toy. I'm sad. In the grocery store, for example, this would be the very thing you could do. If you said no to the item they wanted, follow through and model appropriate language for them to use instead, often identifying and validating their feelings and just letting them know that they're heard often really helps that child in motivating them to use this script um, at a later time. Some examples of avoid and escape behavior could be the child running to hide under the table or going to their room and slamming the door, or simply just freezing up and refusing to complete a task. For these situations, it's a great time to teach the child how to ask for a break. Instead of chasing after them right away or telling them that they must complete this, or how dare you walk away from me, ignore that behavior. Address what's causing the behavior. Is the task too challenging? Are they feeling overwhelmed? Sometimes giving the child some space and then addressing it after is really helpful. Something along the lines of, it really looked like you needed a break earlier. You can always ask for a 5-minute break. If the child is younger, a visual could be used, such as a picture with the words, I need a break on it. So why is the behavior getting worse? There may be an increase in the unwanted behavior at first. Reason being, the child's really used to having this behavior work for them to get their wants and needs met. So oftentimes they think, oh, well, I just have to try harder. I'll just amp up the volume, and then this behavior will work for me. By being consistent and following through, even when they're trying with all of their might, the unwanted behavior will eventually decrease as the child learns that new skill or behavior is a better way of getting what they want and need. So being consistent and following through is really key. I think it's really important to mention that becoming a detective really helps you in trying to identify the function or cause of behavior. It can really support you in using planned ignoring and teaching new skills that you want to be seeing instead. Also, by becoming a detective, you can help predict behavior, meaning you can often spot when your child will display a challenging behavior before it even happens. And this provides you with the opportunity to really step in and change that outcome. Even something as simple as suggesting, let's go outside, run around, can really support your child in to organize their thoughts and move through their day more regulated. Now, of course, there is no one size fits all approach. You really need to just adjust it to fit you, your child, and your family as a whole. And that is planned ignoring in a nutshell. I hope you picked up a few tips and tricks throughout the video and of when to use the strategy and how to use the strategy. Thank you for watching.